Hello, friends. It has been a hot minute this week. Was the worst. Last week, I mentioned a little bit, I think, what makes my trans experience unique, and that's because I have golden heart syndrome. Um, sorry. So, not a lot of people on the internets or in the trans community in general really talk about people with disfigurements, like facial disfigurements or any other kind of disfigurement. I know a lot is talked about disabilities, which I can go into more of that because I also have those. I'm hard of hearing. But there's not a lot talked about in the disfigurement side of being trans. I'd like to hear from some other people too because I hate feeling alone. I know there are other people out here. This is why I'm sharing this. Also, like the word disfigurement, deformities, like let's change that word. I think we don't really unite as a community in like other people do. I think we should because I wish our stuff that we go through was a little bit more talked about. And it'd be cool to see other trans people like me. So, what is golden heart syndrome? So, golden heart syndrome is kind of an amalgamation of a lot of different symptoms and things, but it's essentially like when the mother or person who's giving birth to you, when you're in their uterus, the blood flow is kind of weak from the placenta, so one side of your body develops less, or it's underdeveloped is a better word. English major, your face and things get a little bit, you have essentially a weaker side of your body. A lot of people with golden hearts have the vertebrae in the back is kind of melded together. There's cysts in the eye. I had a cyst here. I also have one symptom, which is called Hemifacial Microsomia. When I was a kid, I didn't really refer to it as golden hearts, mostly because I was little and I didn't really understand. I just knew that I had Hemifacial Microsomia. And because that was the thing they were really treating for me, because it was like a symptom of golden hearts, and I didn't really have, to my knowledge, I don't have a lot of the golden heart syndrome stuff. Like, I don't, to my knowledge, have anything wrong with my vertebrae. I do have a smaller throat, but there's a lot of things that I probably should get checked out that I haven't. But I do have a cyst in my eye, and like I said, I had a cyst here. But mostly, I had hemifacial microsomia, which that's when one side of your face is lopsided in comparison to the other. So this side, Mr. Right side over here, is way underdeveloped in comparison to this side. So the first noticeable thing that I had when I was younger was I was born without an ear. It was like a little chunk of meat, like it was like curled. My right ear was curled. I had a very small tube in your ear. What's that thing called? What is that called? Ear canal. Yeah. Words. So, and that's why I'm hard of hearing, because my eardrum works fine. It's just the ear canal. I've had a lot of surgeries on. Most of the surgeries were on this guy. Started when I was like only like 6 months old, I think. They were like open from the little chunky ear. They like made a little like bud of cartilage, and then from there they made the little cartilage like loop that was here. They like cut it up and took cartilage from my ribs. Like there's a little scar right here. Don't know how good you can see. They put cartilage in my head. I have a little scar here where they kept the cartilage because I was gonna have multiple surgeries, so they needed a place to put it. They didn't want to go back in. It used to be attached to my head, and it used to be two separate sections of the ear. Like this is the only natural part of the ear that's left. this is all rib cartilage. And then essentially, my like last surgery, they took this guy off the back of the ear and then did a skin graft on the back with the skin on the, not my butt, but like the back. And so like the back of my ear is butt skin. Yeah, and this guy's kind of new. Is my hearing aid. Yeah, but I didn't have that guy for a long time because we were paying attention to all the surgeries. They also did stuff on my chin and my jaw, which was one surgery that was the same. They did that at the same time as when they took the ear off my head. So the butt skin surgery thing. They like went in through my mouth and stuff to like square off my chin and give me a little cheekbone right here. And they also took my wisdom teeth out at the same time, so that's kind of cool. But yeah, it's still kind of noticeable if I take my glasses off. Like, you can kind of see I got some weak muscles over here. Mouth a little wonky. My eyes are all weird. Like, there's not really a straight place I can. I'm not very symmetrical. But also, it affected my eyesight as well. So, this guy is very, very like that. And then, it's like glass. That's how bad my vision in this eye is, and that's why it looks like I have a bug eye. I was having these surgeries from the age of, like, as I said, 6 months old to high school. Like, my last one, I think, was my sophomore, junior year of high school. Something like that. It's all a blur. I had too many surgeries to even, I don't know. It definitely really took a toll on my mental health. As a kid, you don't expect to be that different from everyone else. Like, I was dealing with a lot, just trying to be a normal kid, but you can't. There's obviously something you're going through that no one else is going through, and as a kid, you can't really process it. I remember when I was younger thinking, like, oh yeah, this is my ear, I'm so cool, like, this is me, I don't know why I need to change. But clearly, at the time, that's what I thought, and so I was very proud of how I looked. I was very proud of, well, my ear at least. It didn't bother me when I was super, super young. But of course, society and all of that. Like, I'd be going into these surgeries, but I wasn't really sure why. Like, am I not good enough now? And like that, just the psychology of that, and feeling like, oh, I'm not attractive enough or good looking enough now as a kid. Like, I'm so ugly that I have to have surgery to help me not look ugly. Didn't have anything to do with that. It had more so to do with my parents being like, well, we don't want our kid to grow up and regret that we didn't do anything. So just a lot of like not really understanding stuff I'm dealing with now. But a lot of my childhood memories are of people being like, why is your ear like that? A lot of people telling me, because I love singing and stuff, and I remember in high school not really understanding that I was loud because I didn't have a hearing aid, and being told like by audiologists that like, oh yeah, I didn't have all of my hearing in that ear, but it wasn't bad enough. Like, I could deal with it. I didn't really need a hearing aid, but like, clearly I did because I was loud, but I didn't understand I was loud, so there's a lot of guilt and resentment there, being like, oh god, like, I wish I wasn't so blah. And I think over the years in high school, I had a little bit around certain people, I would calm down. I mean, in high school, I also remember, because I'm hard of hearing. People, uh, granted, this was because this person didn't like me in general for other reasons, but during a presentation, someone clearly, it was like a video presentation, so like I had made like this whole video thing with my friend, and there was an audio version of it, and this person clearly being like, I didn't understand half of the video because there was someone was mumbling, and it was like, thanks. When I was really little, I remember um, coming back from surgery and like being really cool because like I was back and I had this cool like little foam thing in my ear. I was wearing like a headband and was like, yeah, look at me, my cool ear now. I don't know, I just felt really good in that moment. But I remember this one girl came up to me and was like, can I see your ear? And I was like, yeah, okay, yeah, because I'm proud of it. And look at all the stuff that I went through and how much I've been through. And no one really understands. This girl really wants to see. And she's going to be like, wow, I'm so proud of you. But no, she was like, wow, that's ugly. And that, like, stayed with me for a very, very long time. Because it's like, wow. It was a very, very isolating experience. Despite having a lot of people there. Yeah, it's not fun. I definitely have a lot of problems with going back to um, doctors and medical, especially hospitals, because I would be there for forever. Um, I have a lot of issues with thinking about going under surgery, like anesthetics and stuff. Don't, I kind of relive it when I think about it, and too much because it's a very scary experience. Um, I don't like hospitals, essentially, and I have a lot of guilt, feelings like oh God, why did I put people through this? Like I'm such a burden. Like look at I'm making my parents spend all this money. I'm making people take care of me, and like I could have just been born good looking with no problems, but here I am, the problem child. Going through all of this as I was a young trans kid was wild. Like, I can't, like, at the time I didn't have the words for whatever I was experiencing, but all I know is when I was little, I was like, I really want to be a boy. That looks more fun and exciting. But I'm a girl, so I'm just gonna try, I guess. Because, like, I don't want to shake things up more than I already have. Yeah. I just had a lot of feelings. I couldn't really process the trans stuff because I felt so weird in other ways that it was just very much like, oh no. I remember when I was younger, like, praying in, because my parents were Catholic, I went to a Catholic college, we can explain that to a whole other video, but I used to, like, pray in church, like, please don't make me gay or anything like that, I'm already messed up, I don't want to be more of a problem. I didn't even know how to process any of this. I felt very isolated and alone and really, really different in multiple ways. It's not fun. And it's definitely still something I'm dealing with. I like being in the LGBT community because, like, that has helped a lot. But, like, also there's every trans guy you look on the internet has a symmetrical face and doesn't look like a bug. So there's that. And I have a lot of problems with believing my partner when they say, oh yeah, you're attractive. Because I'm like, you're just saying that because you want me to be happy. Like, that's what I experienced my whole life. Like, I don't believe people when they say I'm attractive at all. And that makes things difficult for me to understand, like, when I doubt myself in my transition, because that's a big thing. Because when I came out, it was kind of like, oh, but you have so many other problems. Are you sure this isn't just you coping with those? And it's just, no, I'm sure it's not. But, you know, what people say affects you very much. Yeah. I'm often struggling, like, am I dysphoric gender wise, or do I just think I'm ugly and I just want to be an attractive boy? Just, like, cutting my hair and not wearing makeup, not that, like, that determines anyone's gender, you know, or anything. You do what you want with your genders. Um, but that doesn't change the fact that my face looks like this. Testosterone is not going to change the fact that my face looks like this. And I think my face is definitely a body dysmorphia thing. I think I'm the only one who really sees it. I'm definitely more symmetrical faced passing than some other people who have hemifacial, but it's still something psychologically that has affected me very much. The difference is, like, I like my face a lot more than I did before it came out, because I'm like, oh well, it's masculine now, and I like that. That's exciting. I like my hair. My hair's because that's great. I've always had gray hair, but I like it short like this, and he's a boy, and yeah. But I'm always gonna look like this, and that's fine. Trying to understand the overlap between dysphoria and stuff. Not that there is, because, like, it just really affects you. I think even, like, parent-wise, being so dependent on your parents' decisions from such a young age. I don't really feel like my body is my own in a lot of senses. It definitely feels like my anything medical is my parents' thing. Like, my body is not my choice. And I'm trying to take that back, like, slowly being trans and kind of coming to terms slowly, like, over 6 years. I'm gonna go on teen. It's gonna be me who ultimately decides that, and they're gonna be okay with it. It's been a long journey, but, like, I'm starting to get there. I finally got my insurance through work, so hopefully in October. We'll see. Yeah, it's just a lot. I don't know how eloquent this video was. It was a lot of me rambling. That's sort of the generalness of what's going on, and if you have any questions, I can go more in depth and be more eloquent. This is just kind of like a what's going on video. So, yeah. Thanks for listening to this long, weird rant. Bye.